of these rulers, powers, and principalities.
That's right.
Ooh, that's good news to me.
Amen.
Glory to God. So in these particular kingdoms here, where it's about the principalities and powers, there is a word called despotism. You want to write that down. D-E-S-P-O-T-I-S-M. Despotism. And that means rulers with an unlimited amount of authority.
Wow.
Rulers with an unlimited amount of authority. That's despotism. Now, why is that important to me? Because they just said that my fight is not with flesh and blood. It went on to principalities. Now, this is powerful. This is going to make any tracks that you have loose fly off your head. Principalities, powers, listen to this. That means that there are different regions of principalities, different regions of powers. He says, now listen to me. If you set forth a kingdom in any of these, each one of those principalities have a ruler with unlimited authority in their kingdom. Which means I could be a church member, but I could be operating out of this particular kind of principality that already has another ruler that has unlimited power. That's despotism. That means I'm in that. But I have erected this kingdom. Meaning what? God, oh God. Ooh, this is powerful to me. Whom I allow to rule my house, my mind and my money. I create for him a kingdom that is only functional by the principles that super rule that particular kingdom. I'm going to say that again because I'm explaining. Whom I allow to rule my house, my mind, or my money. I create for that particular being a kingdom that is only functional by the principles that super rule it. Which means this. If I come to church and I'm trying to set forth the kingdom, we know that our kingdom principles are tithing, right? Mm-hmm. We know that kingdom principles are, give me some kingdom principles. Just throw them out here. Things that God told us to do that's non-negotiable. Anybody?
Pray.
He told us to pray. Okay. Give me some more. Love one another. Okay, come on.
Go and compel them to come.
Go out and compel them to come. Go. Study. Okay, go.
Worship him only.
Worship him and him. Go.
Faith.
Have faith. Go. Anybody? Fast. Okay, go.
Let everything that breath praise you.
Praise God. Okay, go.
Hope.
Have hope. Okay. Now, all of these things are the things that build and secure the kingdom of God in my life. When I'm doing something different from that, then I'm erecting another king. Done. Notice I said king. Done. Now, if I erect another king, done, then that means I come into despotism, which means that I have a ruler here that has unlimited authority in this kingdom.
Wow.
Now, as a church member, now I'm here in this kingdom. I can't get my money to work for me. My mind is all over the place. My house is in disarray, but I go to church.
Come on now.
I've given somebody else the ability, glory to God, to bring me into a kingdom that I was never supposed to be in. And I'm okay with doing it. You want to know why I know I'm in that other kingdom? Because I pay tithes when I want to. I'm kind when I want to be. I get an attitude when I want to. I do whatever it is that I want to do, and then I come to church and smile in y'all face and try to make y'all think I'm in the kingdom. But I'm really not in the kingdom. Because, as again, I'm going to say this because I can't get it in your spirit enough. When I am in the kingdom, I am super ruled by the God that is over that particular sphere.
Yeah. Jesus.
I become a world changer because I'm a life trainer. His life for what? Mine. Amen. So at the very end of this, who are the disqualified? Man's reign and authority. The disqualified are those that are disobedient and the unbeliever. Mother, we don't think that we have unbelieving believers. We have unbelieving believers. You want to know how you can be an unbelieving believer? Because sis, you can like look at something and read it in the Bible and go, oh, that's so great that God did that. Wow, you can hear it. Everybody else talking about it and be like, God is so awesome, he'll do that. You believe that he can do it. You just don't believe he'll do it for you.
Jesus.
So I cannot disobey God. Listen to me. This is real simple, but it's powerful for where you're going. I cannot disobey God. I'm not talking about disobeying Bishop Stiles. I'm not talking about disobeying Apostle. I'm not talking about disobeying any of your department head leaders. When you disobey God, that disqualifies you for the kingdom.
Amen.
Now, even though worldwide we have drawn a picture that says that God has a whole bunch of rebellious kids running around the kingdom, I'm telling you, they're running around the church.
Amen. Come on.
They are not running around the kingdom. Because you're not allowed in the kingdom when you don't do what the king says.
Come on.
You try going to a natural kingdom.
Right.
Don't nobody teach this greater than Miles Monroe.
That's right.
Because he's up under the kingdom, a king where he is. He said, try coming over here and telling the king you're not going to do what he say do. Try. Come. Move toward us. And think that you're not going to do what this king tells you to do. He said, you'll be in America's wicked and you can shake your head. You want to know why? Because here, you don't do what you think you're supposed to do or do what you feel like doing. Not over here. Now, if anybody would be honest, don't even raise your hand. Do you see for yourself how far you are away from the kingdom?
Yes.
And we shout about it and say, you know what, God, you're going to make me a kingdom citizen. You won't even do what God tells you to do. What God tells you to do, not what your pastor tells you to do, because you want to know what? Your pastor is only a verbal voice to what you internally know.
Amen.
Amen. That's true.
So he only says what God has already put in you.
Amen.
He's a verbal voice to what you already internally know. So when he gets up and he says that, bring your tithe and offering to the storehouse, you already know that.
Amen.
When he says love everybody, you already know that.
Right.
When he says that you have to have a certain lifestyle, holiness without which no man should see God, you already know that he's only a verbal voice. So it ain't that you don't do what he say that's the problem. See, pastors, yes, it bothers us that you won't respect the authority that's over you, but you only know why it bothers us? Because it's a kingdom principle that God put in place. God said that you are to honor those that have rule over you. God said that.
Amen.
That's the word. That's the word.
That ain't something we making up. We didn't just get up and say, you know what? You gonna do what I say. I feel like being rude today. Trust me, anybody that understands that ain't trying to be that.
Right.
Because if I make you obey what I do, then that means I gotta take care of you when you need something.
Come on.
Woo.
Come on.
Step in the place of God over your life. Then that means when you need something, I gotta step in the place of God over your life.
My Jesus.
Amen? Amen. So here, I cannot disobey. Say, I cannot disobey.
I cannot disobey.
And be in the kingdom.
And be in the kingdom.
I need that to sit. You cannot do what you want to do and then be in the kingdom. You cannot come like you want to come and be in the kingdom.
Okay.
You cannot say what you want to say and be in the kingdom. You cannot give like you want to give and be in the kingdom. You cannot go back and forth and do what you think you want to do and be in the. You can't have an attitude and then love people this day. And everybody looking at you like we thinking that you psychotic.
Right.
And then be in the kingdom. We're talking about kingdom principles. You can't be mean and nasty and be in the kingdom. Amen?
Amen.
Amen. How many minutes I got? About 10 more?
We started 30 minutes late, so if you want to go 15 more minutes, you can.
Okay, then we're going to stop. Okay, promotion versus authority. Your promotion is in God. The promotion, in God, the authority promotes you. And this is what I mean when I say that.
What you say?
I'm going over promotion and authority. I said in God, the authority promotes you. Which means this, is that in the natural realm, if a police officer, and I may be saying this all wrong because I don't understand different ranks, and if somebody can help me, that'd be great. If a police officer is a lieutenant,
Right.
okay, if he's a lieutenant, he has a certain authority. But then he could be, he could be promoted to a captain. And when he's promoted to a captain, he gets another authority. Amen. So without him even changing who he is internally, he gets this promotion. He gets a chance to have greater authority. That comes along with the different stripes or badges or whatever it is that they wear. But that ain't how it works with God. Come on. In God, authority is what promotes you. Which means you don't move until he done moved on you. Wow. That's right. That's right. I'm going to say that again. In God, he don't promote you first, then give it to you.
I told you. Lord of God.
He gives it to you on the inside first.
Amen.
And then he who's over you starts to talk to you about that, and then they bring you into it. That's why when people talk about, you know, I'm a prophet, I'm this, and then the whole church comes up against you, and then you back down. You weren't never that. Because if you could back down and you could put it to the side and never go back to it, you weren't never that. But if you were really that internally, glory to God. It don't matter if you by yourself. You're going to be that. So then this is what I'm saying to you. Don't let people trick you. And I say this all the time because I want you to you preach one good message. And everybody not saying you should be the pastor. You should say the devil is a lie.
And the truth ain't in him.
The devil. Get behind me. You want to know why? Because if I don't have an authority on the inside of me that has already promoted me, then I'm not going to step into it outwardly. Why am I not going to do that? Why? Because if I step into something that God has not authorized me to, I'm going to kill everybody around me and myself. And this is a clue to you that you're not really probably where you're saying out of your mouth at, because you don't even have a consistency. You don't have even a burning desire to spread the gospel. You ever heard of an evangelist that don't even want to open up their Bible only just when they preach?
Lord Jesus.
Well,
you a hot fiery missionary on Sunday, and then you decide whether or not you want to come to church on Sunday. The next Sunday, the one you ain't preaching at.
wow.
Your authority starts on the inside. Because of the authority on the inside, that means that God is bringing you into kingdom citizenship. When God, watch this, when God brings you into kingdom citizenship, that title that he gives you in the earth is because he understands that he already put in place, obey the law of the land. Yeah. When you have a law that's in the land, you honor different men and women of God that gives them different accesses in different places. You have already then an authority on the inside of you that keeps you from burning out. Because I'm telling you, if you haven't really been called into the fivefold ministry, you're going to burn out. I'm telling you, you're going to burn out. Because see, it looks good. The first 3 months, I give it to you. You be on fire. The next 6, you be like, all right now. By the end of that year, you be like, now, wait a minute. And see, if it ain't really in you, now what money had to come with this?
Yeah. Lord.
Wow. What fame that comes with this? Ain't no none of that. Ain't no none of that. Woo. Amen. So you got to have that down on the inside of you. So what promotes me? Authority within. What promotes me? Authority within. What promotes me?
Authority within.
Amen. If you're somebody that because they did not say your name, they did not say verbally thank you and you got mad, or they didn't call you whatever that you thought that they should and then you left, you ain't really called. That's right. Because see, to me, they can call me Sister Michelle, Mickey, Miss King, right. I don't get that. I can preach from your podium, your floor, I can preach out by the door, it doesn't matter to me. Because of the authority that I have on the inside.
Come on now.
Amen. So the title is not even a big issue. No. Amen. The authority that I have is a big issue. Because I'm going to tell you what's frustrating. And this is the Holy Ghost giving this to me. You do not want to be called a pastor and you can't move nothing. You don't want to be called an evangelist and you can't shift nothing. You don't want to be called prophet or any of that authority from God and then you can't move nothing. Don't nobody your title. Oh, y'all gonna do what I say. I'm the evangelist. Sit down. You ain't even got no authority. Because when you really have the authority on the inside, you ain't got to open up my mouth and say nothing. When I walk in, everything is submitted to me. That's not like God. Gotta open up my mind. I ain't gotta flex my muscles. I ain't gotta say, oh, I'm pastor something. I ain't gotta say none of that.
That's right.
I ain't gotta do none of that.
Not Lord.
Amen? I ain't gotta argue, fight, do none of that. In my latter days right now, I don't even fight. I'm so glad that me and my husband have the kind of relationship where he'll say what he's gonna say, I'll say what I'm gonna say, and I say, that's it. Now you wanna go to a movie? I'm telling you, when you get old, you just, Lord Jesus, I ain't got time. Reign and rule. Amen. Reign, glory to God. Give me your cell phone. Because I put it in your phone. Yeah. Lord Jesus. Okay. Reign and rule. Reign is what you have by authority. Rule is what you have by position. That's okay, man. I got it. Reign is what you have by authority, which we just talked about. Rule is what you have by position. And most times the people that rule over you will be the people that will have, will have the attitudes and the issues. And this is how you'll know that you're under a leader that are coming to the kingdom. Reign is by authority. Rule is by position. This is the difference between church and kingdom. When I'm up under a certain department head leader, I can tell if that department head leader is kingdom or if they church. Because if they are church, then they trying to rule everything I do. Because they rule out of position. But when I have somebody that's kingdom, their whole approach to me is different because they reign by authority. That means that everything is submitted to them anyway. They don't have to come and go through all of that. You already come provoked by them because they wear a provocation on them.
Good.
Amen. So that means I don't have to go through all of that stuff fighting it. I can't believe you was here and all of that. No, these people are already provoked by this authority that I have on me. That's how you're able to reign. Amen. So you need to see if you are ruling or you are reigning. Amen. The difference between kingdom sons and church children, I think we talked about that all the way through. Amen.
Amen.
So we're not going to be church children.
Come on.
We're going to go into kingdom son.
Amen.
Amen. Now, one of the greatest things that identifies you as a kingdom is in Romans chapter 8. It said that the sons of God are led by the Spirit of God. Amen. So how I will be able to identify that I'm really a son is that I'm led by God. So I need you to look at the last things that you did for the last week and ask yourself, was that a leading of God? Because I'm not in your household. So you'll know if you've been led by God, then that means that you're a son. You're a son of God. And if I'm a son of God, I obey God.
That's right.
I obey God. I care about the things that God cares about.
Amen.
Like with this conference right here. My mindset is, are they going to meet this budget? Why? Because I'm a son. And I understand that things that God do in the earth are things that me as a son, I take part of. Because I'm a part of the kingdom. Amen? Amen. So I'm not going to be a church child. Okay, so the last scripture herein is our love made perfect. Our love made perfect. Our love made perfect. Our love made perfect, church folk. Y'all should have said kingdom.
I'm saying
Amen. That we may be boldness, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment, because as he is, so are we in this world. This is God talking. He's talking through this man of God. He says, now listen, say to them this. As they are, they need to be the way that I am up there. Be who I am. Be a little g down here. Amen. Number one, love that perfects you. Real quickly, if I say this, love is the thing that is going to operate in your life and going to be under attack the most, because the love is the most powerful thing according to the 2 Corinthians, is it 2nd or 1st? 1 Corinthians 13.
Right. That's right.
Love is going to be attacked the most in your life. So whenever you get ready to come into something, because of Galatians chapter 5, Galatians says that faith worketh by love. Everything that you're trying to get from God, you can only get from God by faith. But if your love is out of whack, then the enemy has the right to hold it back and say you can't get it. So everything that you're working for in prayer, if you step out of love, then you cancel yourself out. Last statement, the difference between boldness and rudeness. Do I really need to go into that? Because we know the difference between boldness and rudeness, don't we? We know that we cannot talk to people any kind of way and get the proper response out of them.
That's right.
Amen? Amen. And I need us not to be so delusioned in our mind that we think that God just got to where he just gives you just this ignorant way of dealing with people. And you call this is boldness. That's craziness. Anytime that you leave people in a place where now they questioning God because of your behavior.
Right. That's right.
I mean, you snatching stuff, arguing. I mean, no. God is a loving God, and God can get his point across to you. I mean, walk with a real woman and a real man.
Yeah.
Just for a while. Find a real woman and a real man of God that is matured even naturally. Walk with them. And they'll walk in love. And I'm telling you, they will tell you off in your face and you won't even know you've been told off. You will know not to ever do that again. Amen. And they don't have to be rude.
That's right.
At all. A real good manager, I learned this in being a store manager. A real good manager is somebody that by the time I get to you and fire you, we can have lunch. We can laugh about this because you already know I'm coming to you because of the way that I've dealt with you all the way up until then.
That's right.
Amen.
That's right.
Amen. So there's a difference in rules. Let these people and see what's gearing you and what's fighting with you is that all of these people are telling you, you know, these people don't want to hear from you. So you got all these other issues that's coming out of that. Don't be rude. Amen?
Amen.
Stand to your feet.